Like
what kind of camera is it?
Like a G5X.
Oh yeah.
It's
Is it mirrorless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than my 6D in this light.
Yeah, those mirrorless cameras are epic.
And there you go.
Yeah, I'll hire a mirrorless if I'm doing any kind of concert,
right.
like party footage, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to have a Sony, but then I switched to Canon.
We'll actually talk about it. All right.
Sure.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, bro. Good to be here.
You're the second guest, man. Appreciate it. You got a deep voice as well, which is good. Like, you know.
Oh, do I?
Like, we just did that test, and it sounded. I was impressed.
2 2 1 2.
Yeah. All right. Before we let's let's do like a little overcap about you. What do you do? Where'd you start doing? And then we'll talk about Bucket Vision and like where'd you start in your creative endeavors?
Yeah, 100%. So always been a content creator my whole life. First started off when I left school, went to uni for a year, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I loved snowboarding, so I went snowboarding. Stayed true to what I loved at the time, ended up making a bunch of snowboard films with my friends, and that is when my love of filmmaking developed. From there I got a job at MTV, just by basically shooting everything and anything, holidays, shooting with my stuntman friend. I built up a bit of a show reel. Just happened to meet an MTV producer. She got me a job and then ended up working there for 3 years, doing some pretty incredible stuff as like a 21-year-old, cruising around the world, working on all the big MTV award shows, celebrity interviews, all that kind of stuff. That was a wild ride. Super grateful for all that experience and really good kind of learning environment as well. Yeah. Because this was when MTV was first starting, so it was a pretty small crew, small team, so a lot of room to develop.
Yeah, right.
So I actually started off as like the bottom of the barrel kind of, run and gun camera dude, and then worked my way up to producing, all the kind of New Zealand MTV shows, which was awesome.
Oh, of course. I was like, was this in Australia? But you're Kiwi, of course.
Yeah. And then from there, MTV, I don't know, this was kind of the stage when like, I guess TV was starting to maybe die a little bit, or there was a bit more focus on online stuff because they decided to cut all our budgets for international travel and all our kind of shows, which was the part I enjoyed the most. So my buddy, Hamish Cross, who also worked with me really closely at MTV, we decided to make our own TV travel show independently, self-funded. We literally got a credit card with a $5,000 limit and bought a camera and just left. Didn't really know what kind of show we were going to make, but just knew we wanted to travel the world and have a crack at it. So we ended up filming this show over the space of a year, just documenting our travels. And we got back and ended up selling that show to like a free-to-air New Zealand channel.
Also selling it produced and like ready to...
Yeah, so we got back with all this kind of raw content, and they helped us edit it, put voiceovers to it. And
like of a travel sort of...
A travel show, 6-part, half-hour travel show called Winging It.
Wow.
Yeah, which was...
I never knew this.
Yeah, man, this is taking it back a long way. So I actually come from like a pretty traditional broadcast background.
Yeah, okay.
And then after that show was kind of when everything started to shift to online, and that's when we started to make that transition as well.
Okay, so then after that, after you went and shot this and sold it, is that when you went to Nova, for instance, and we met?
There was quite a big kind of space in between that where I was working on like big budget feature films.
Oh, okay.
All sorts of kind of New Zealand productions, just gaining some knowledge as a director's assistant. Things like that. And then eventually I moved to Australia. Started freelancing for Nova, doing all sorts of freelance gigs. And it was about this time I started to try and plot like my ultimate dream job, what that would be. I think I saw like an Alan Watts YouTube video, which was like, you've probably seen it. It's like, what would you do if money was no object?
Who is Alan Watts?
So Alan Watts is like a philosopher, lecturer dude. No, there's like a lot of inspirational YouTube videos which use his voiceover.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's one pretty famous one which has gone super viral. Yeah. And he just kind of explains, or he's talking to his students in his class section. He's like, the whole concept is like, what would you do if money was no object?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Really think deeply about that and ask yourself. So I literally was like, that really struck a chord with me. So I started to ask myself that question. And I was like, man, I'd probably just try and get paid to travel the world and cross items off my bucket list.
Yeah.
And that's when Bucket Vision was born. So I had pretty big dreams at the start to create this bucket list app, which was going to be like, you know, the next Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, as every kind of young, ambitious dude starts off.
I've been there, bro.
Yeah. And so, I commissioned these guys in South Africa to build this app for me. I was living there at the time. And they did an awesome job, and it was a great app. I just, it got a bit of traction, but it got to the point where I was going to have to either find investors or invest a lot of my own money to keep developing it.
Yeah.
And I just, looking at the big picture and what all the big apps and platforms were doing, it just didn't seem like a smart decision.
You can't compete with them, right?
Totally. They move so fast.
And they just got like like deep pockets of just cash. Like
like every functionality that I thought was kind of unique, like they would eventually
do it
develop.
Anyway.
Totally.
So
So I was a bit late to the app game, I feel. Maybe if I started that, I don't know, 5 years earlier, maybe.
Because there's a lot of emphasis on like that minimum viable product thing. Like,
totally, 100.
Which I get, but I was under the impression when I started mine, I'm sure maybe you were too, like, that didn't make as much sense to me, because I'm like, no one has time for a glitchy app, or you have to get a mad product that works quick and fast, because this is who you're competing for people's time, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. So you need to have something that works fluently, you know what I mean? Which is why...
1,000,000%. Yeah.
Which is why...
And it costs a lot of money to get to that point.
Yeah.
Especially with app development.
Exactly. Oh, so... But they're still killing it, like apps in general, like massive industry, and people are still making it work.
Totally.
It's freaking hard, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when you had no app experience before, like me, when I did mine, right? Like, it was just an idea and you just wanted to...
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, and I think you probably can relate to this, was the whole reason I wanted to build the app was so I could literally make marketing videos for the app.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's like all I wanted to do was like make cool travel bucket list type videos.
Because that's your skill. You're like, this.
That's my whole background and my skill.
Yeah.
And then eventually what happened was, like, I went on this big tour and started making, you know, marketing videos for Bucket Vision.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, a couple of those videos went viral.
Yeah.
And I decided to just pivot Bucket Vision and move away from the app and turn it into a Facebook publication.
Yeah, right.
And that's when I started to see a lot of traction, a lot of forward movement, a lot of brands approaching me, wanting to work with me, and we kind of got this formula down for viral videos on Facebook, which is like the last few years has just been incredible, man. Like,
because I saw you at the Hong Kong airport last time we saw each other, probably.
Yeah,
right? And you were like, bro, I've got the strategy to make
a
a viral
formula.
video.
I'm going all in on Facebook, and and that's what happened, man. I literally just dropped everything. And just kind of like invested a ton of like my own money and went all in on Facebook and like grew an audience. I think
now you got almost a million likes.
Close, yeah. We should have 1 million followers in the next couple of months. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's wild, man. It's been a wild ride.
Is it hard keeping up with, like, because Facebook video algorithms are changing like quick?
Changed big.
How do you know how to make the new ones? Or is it just still a bit of trial and error? Like, you just tweak yours?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook hasn't changed that much.
Okay.
It's just less organic reach.
Yeah, right. So you having to put money behind...
Well, the thing with my strategy was I was putting money behind it from the start. Like, I saw it as a pay-to-pay.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, a pay-to-play platform.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister. So it didn't really affect me too much. It's only the kind of pages that were relying heavily on organic reach that got affected by the algorithm change.
Right. But now do you find you're paying more for less? I've found that with running
100%.
Running out every day. I'm losing out, like, less exposed for the same amount of money.
Yeah, which is why I'm starting to kind of shift and try and build my other platforms.
Yeah,
Instagram and YouTube now. I'm just glad I got in on Facebook at the right time. I think timing's such a big thing. And pivoting relating to timing is it's the game, right? It's
absolutely.
Those are the big decisions which kind of make or break.
Yeah. Before we continue talking about Facebook, I had so many questions. Oh yeah. So what's your, like, if you were to work on a feature film, what's your favorite, like, position? First AD, producer. Where are you most comfortable?
I mean, all the feature film stuff I did was all like gearing towards directing. It was that road. So I started off as like a director's assistant, and then I did some ADing on set.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the road to be a director, I guess you could say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's probably the realm I feel most comfortable. Yeah.
Do you still have interest in like film, like creating non-social films, like films? Like, do you want to go back to that?
I mean, there's part of me that is like looking at Hollywood and kind of potentially being lured into that world just to experience it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I've always wanted to live in California since I was a kid, and I just feel as though it's never too late to do anything.
Well, surely you could do that now with Bucket Vision. Go do some stuff over there.
100%, man. Yeah, 100%. I think the way the world is shifting, like there's a real potential to actually work with some of these big A-listers just on a social level. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, there's definitely that lure and attraction, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Right. So where
the feature film thing, I'm still super interested in.
So it's on the bucket list. Per se.
Yeah, it's on the bucket list. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to justify taking all those steps back to take a new path just based on where I'm at now. But maybe I can dabble in it. We'll see.
Well, dabble. Yeah.
Dabble in it. Yeah.
One of my biggest questions is, so you've got like almost 1 million followers and get shit tons of views on your videos.
Yeah.
What's the best way to monetize so many? Like, is it just getting brands to pay you more because you've got a bigger following, or is it like selling merch in your own videos eventually, or like how do you best like make cash from all these?
Yeah, totally. It's
engagement.
Great question. I feel as though for Facebook, the best way in my world that I'm kind of operating in is just through brand deals and brand leverage. Yeah. That's kind of the best way to monetize. Obviously, you can't monetize directly through the platform.
No.
So yeah, I just feel as though all those little videos that we're making, they're basically like, if you think about it in a TV perspective, they're basically like mini shows. Yeah, so what you're starting to see is people just throwing brand logos at the start and end and top and tailing those. And that there's a lot of money in that, man, especially with the kind of views that you're able to get on Facebook. I think for merch wise, I mean, obviously Logan Paul, like, absolutely dominating that whole merch game, and I feel YouTube is probably the YouTube and Instagram, but maybe YouTube just because of the connection that you have with your audience.
YouTube's just got that cult with like, if you're following someone, you're probably going to buy.
Yeah, 100%.
More than Instagram anyway.
Yeah, totally. And I think like those Paul brothers are a good testament to that. Love them or hate them, like they're both super smart dudes, and especially when it comes to selling merch. So I think everyone can learn a lot of lessons from what they're doing.
So you're not going to even try to sell merch, push merch on Bucket Vision? Do you already at all?
I thought about products and potentially maybe some travel related products that I use that I absolutely love.
Yeah, right.
Just trying to line it maybe to a bit more, like travel related stuff. Yeah, it's a world that I haven't really stepped foot into yet. But if I was going to go down that road, I don't know, maybe like passport holders and just
stuff like that, practical stuff.
Yeah, just branded travel stuff or stuff that I find really useful. Like I'm big into packing squares inside your suitcase. So they're like little mini bags inside that you put inside your suitcase to organize everything.
Are you? Oh, dude, you're
like I could sell those and
man. So you're like full organized, meticulous. All that stuff.
I have been recently, yeah. Bro, especially with the amount of equipment that I have and just having mini bags for all your cords and.
I need to show you the back.
Just travel hacks.
The back of my car, like the extra, it's got like a drawer you pull out.
Yeah.
And I've like bought like a custom Bunnings like case, and I've got like one little thing allocated to like a compass and like a pocket knife. I've got like face masks for when I have to go to the airport because I always get sick at the airport. Like drugs in one, not as in like
pharmaceuticals.
Like, I'll show you after, but you'll love it because I'm super organized with all my gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean with all your music gear too.
Yeah, man,
with all the cords and everything you get.
Everything. Yeah, it gets out of hand.
Yeah.
What do you shoot with predominantly when you go overseas?
So I've just recently got the 1DX2.
Oh, Oh crap! You got a big dog camera.
Yeah.
Does that autofocus? Because my biggest issue with cameras is not autofocusing.
Yeah, so the autofocus on that camera is next level.
Yeah,
and it's touchscreen autofocus too, so
Yeah,
you can do the most incredible rack focuses.
While you're recording.
While you're recording, which is, traditionally pretty hard. So 1DX2 is kind of the workhorse beast, which I absolutely love. You obviously get that super cinematic slow-mo.
How many frames per second does it shoot?
100, 120, depending on PAL NTSC.
Yeah, right.
So that camera has been incredible. I've kind of always mainly had Canon cameras, so went down the whole 5D route. Had a 70D when I was doing daily vlogs, which was dope. I think the 62 is probably like the best vlogging camera at the moment.
Canon 62?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's got the flip screen. I still love the flip screen. A lot of guys are vlogging with 1DX2s, but it's so heavy.
Big, eh?
Yeah, and it's expensive. So, anyone who's looking to get in it, I'd say 70D or 62 for vlogging.
62. Do you know, when I've done my recent vlogs, bro, the majority of it is on my iPhone now.
Yeah. And that's the way the world's going.
Is any of your content that gets published shot on an iPhone in the end?
Well, I think I'm going to start commissioning people to shoot stuff on iPhone for me, just because it'll be so cheap.
Oh my god! Wouldn't it?
And like a lot of those big pages, which operate in the same realm as I do on Facebook, like the BuzzFeed type pages, all their videos are literally shot on iPhone, and it makes no difference as long as the story and what you're showing people is incredible and has that point of difference. Like, people don't care, man.
Oh, okay. This is what I'm so pumped to talk about so many things.
Yeah.
So the formula, not that you have to give it away, but
I'll give it away. I'll give away everything. I don't care.
That's brilliant. So when you're creating these travel videos, is the formula based on? Because it's easy for me to tell the story with things I do, because I know I'm saying in a travel sense, I would picture that to be harder. Is this like a, for instance, if you're shooting Mount Everest, would a storyline be maybe starting at the bottom of the mountain, ending up on top? As simple as that? Is that like how you base your stories in travel content?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm not really about that super long format, beginning, middle, and end narrative.
Yeah, right.
Like, my biggest thing for me right now is just finding the subject matter which has that point of difference.
Right.
So I'll base all my research around that. So just making sure whatever I'm filming is something that people have never seen before, ideally.
Right.
And you kind of have to think about it.
Is that in a location of this? You mean the subject matter can be a location?
Yeah, it can be location. It can be food. It can be a nightclub. It can be a restaurant.
So you base the whole video around the new thing that people haven't seen. And
I try to, man. Or maybe it might be a new camera technique that someone hasn't seen.
Okay.
I think you kind of have to, especially if you're going for the viral thing, you have to look at yourself like a news channel, and you want to show people something new.
Right. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, well, that's just the world that I've been kind of living in.
And it's worked.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as people see something new, they want to be seen as the authority, and they want to kind of show it to all their friends, and that gives them credit. Wow. So it becomes a lot more shareable. Yeah.
That's a very, what's the word? Looking into humans and human behavior. Observation in...
Yeah, totally, man.
Wow. It's true though.
Everyone wants that social credit. Everyone wants to be seen as the cool person who shows people the cool stuff. You know what I mean?
It's like when someone introduces you to a song, they want that title for the rest of their life.
Exactly, man. Same sort of thing.
Humans are funny, man. Do you know my biggest? One of the hardest things with the podcast is, man, I constantly feel like I'm just treading very lightly on eggshells. I'll go to say something and be like, you know what I wanted to talk with you about at the start of this podcast?
What?
Possum socks.
Yeah.
My mum recently went to New Zealand. She bought possum socks for me.
Game changer?
Have you worn them? Have you worn them?
I don't know if I have, bro. I remember buying some pretty epic socks in New Zealand. I'm not sure if I've had possum yet.
Man, I wore them for 3 days straight. They are the most comfy socks I've ever worn. I can't rate them highly enough.
Oh my god!
They're warm.
There's some serious sponsor opportunities coming through right now.
I know, but
But that's the
I'll
thing,
do
like
it.
people love little stuff like
But
that, just
what-
like the little recommendations, you know.
But no, what I was saying was with the eggshell thing. Let me finish that first.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. If I mention possum socks on this thing, are people going to think like I'm against possums or something, or like I'm having a dig at possums? Like, are people going to ask, "Oh, is that possum killed for its sock potential?" Or
I'm pretty sure, but in New Zealand they're considered pests. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, in New Zealand,
I thought it was a native animal in New Zealand.
yeah, but no, I'm pretty sure they're introduced.
Oh.
But they destroy a lot of the native New Zealand flora and fauna.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So,
I feel a lot more comfortable about myself.
yeah, no, I grew up, getting rid of possums to
Oh,
help the
right.
farmers out and
Yeah.
help them.
How did you catch possums? Is that a...
Oh, you shoot them. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Did you live on a property
Sorry,
in-
all the possum lovers
Yeah.
of the world. No, I went to this farm called Blue Duck Farm.
Yeah.
And my uncles had farms, and
Yeah, right. You've just been
that was
around.
just part of the kind of New Zealand culture growing up.
Yeah. Do you go back?
Possum hunting.
Did your family still over there?
Yeah. Family lives in Auckland. Yeah.
And you go back once a year or whenever you can?
Yeah. Like they come over to Aussie a fair
Okay.
bit now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I'll go back for work sometimes. Get to see them, and generally around Christmas time. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt. Where are you going next, Bucket Vision? What's on the cards?
Yeah, so next stop, I'm actually flying out this evening to the Maldives. We've got 8 days there. Yeah.
Oh my god, I saw you in some massive temple a couple months ago. Like, you were in the whole temple by yourself. It was the biggest structure building I think I've seen in my life. Like,
really?
Yeah, where
in
was
Thailand,
it?
maybe?
I don't know, it was white.
In
It
Thailand.
looked Indonesia.
In Chiang Rai, like a beautiful, intricate white temple,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was up north in Thailand in Chiang Rai, yeah.
Man, you have the most interesting, life, right?
Well, I mean, I'm stoked with it. Yeah, it's a life that I've spent a long time and worked very hard for very little money to try and create,
Absolutely.
and it's finally at the point where I'm getting paid well to have these pretty epic experiences.
Because
and-
a lot of people don't realize it takes 5 years at least to stick at something
Yeah,
like
man.
this. Jake.
5 to 10, most stuff.
You've worked with Jake, right? My mate Jake. He's the
I've never
content
met the guy. We've chatted a lot.
Has he shot some stuff for you? Have you collaborated?
Jake
yet?
Rich, you mean?
Yeah, Jake Rich. Yeah.
No, not yet. Yeah, we've been chatting online, and I've been trying to help
him.
him get some of his videos out through BUCKETVISION just
Yeah,
to get
right.
a bit of extra exposure. And yeah, man, I'm so pumped with what him and all you guys are doing. Like, you're just such go-getters as far as...
He's
Yeah.
next level. Man, if you think I work hard, man, he's crazy, bro. He's up at 7 just editing and then editing, shooting. I don't know how we can still see straight looking at screens that much. Eh? I'm sure you'd be the same.
Yeah,
guess.
I love seeing that hustle, man. Yeah, it's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
Just seeing you guys get out there and doing it, and just
Yeah, right.
yeah.
He's what advice do you give to people wanting to be a travel creator? Because his biggest thing, he spent years, as you did, doing them just for paid trip base, not getting paid on top, and then took as you said 5-10 years of doing that just to start getting paid gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think it's saturated now with heaps of people that will just continue to do it for free, or is this still a way to build yourself up if someone was to start today and want to be a travel creator?
I don't think it's saturated. I think maybe some of the platforms are a bit more saturated than others. So I think you just have to choose carefully with the format and the platform that you operate in, depending on what's working and where the eyeballs are and what's flowing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should ever really care too much about what other people are doing. Like if you love making travel videos, no matter what, you stay true to that. You know what I mean? And I feel as though for a lot of creative stuff, it only takes one, man. It only takes one video to pop, and it totally changes your life.
Is that what happened with Bucket Vision?
100%.
Which video was it?
It was like a Cape. It was like this.
Oh, the Cape Town
It was like this
one.
shitty little drone video that I shot in Cape Town. But people didn't. Well, I didn't realize when I got to Cape Town, first of all, how incredibly beautiful that city is, and second of all, how much of an amazing lifestyle you can have. It's literally like Hollywood Hills.
Oh, man.
Part of.
I lived there for...
Oh, you did? So you know.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so I got there. I was like, holy crap.
It's amazing, right?
I had no idea it was this epic. So I just spent a few days shooting a drone video and then put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that... Yeah, I don't know.
Cape
I think
Town
got 7 million views.
7
and
million?
yeah, and that started it all. But Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't think you ever want to kind of live your life and look back and think, oh, what if it was the next video that I made that popped before I gave up? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, just keep going until something pops, and you know.
That's great. Oh, that's cool. I love that. Cape Town was. I explained Cape Town specifically as like Sydney Harbour, but look up and you just see this mammoth mountain.
Yeah.
Like, right? It's like Sydney with a little Everest on there, man. It's crazy, right? Did you go to the top?
The contrast of like the beautiful kind of tropical white sand beaches, and these huge mountains. It's beautiful. It's right? Visually, I think, the most stunning city in the world. 100%.
Have you gone back since?
Yeah, I've been a couple times
shooting, man.
Yeah.
How are you on planes? Like,
I love plane rides so much.
Man, I can't. Like, do you just edit the whole time? Is that like how you pass the time?
I mean, I will if I'm in business, but
you get those pictures. So Qantas sponsors Bucket Vision now. Is this what's happening, or they just pay for a certain amount of videos? How does that work?
Yeah, we'll do. So I cross promote all the content that I make for them, and show it to my audience as well.
Wait, so you cross post?
Cross post, yeah.
Oh, so they also own the footage?
So it's quite complicated. Like, some of the stuff I'll make directly for them. Some of the stuff I'll use my pre-existing content. Some of the stuff I'll shoot independently, but then they'll want to buy afterwards. There's lots of different kind of factors.
That's super interesting. I didn't know how if it was like a year contract for like 20 videos, or if it was, so it's more per video, and they'll sort of.
Yeah, it all depends on like what their destination focus is, and
right.
There's all sorts of different kind of levels to it, but I kind of operate with them more like an agency.
Yeah, right.
It's like contractual basis. All right, I'm going to make stuff for you for the next year, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and do they send you the itinerary of the places they want covered, or do you suggest it to them, or how does that work?
A bit of both, but mainly from them. They'll be like, we're trying to push flights to this
city,
destination, this location.
Yeah,
and we need content based on that.
Let me turn this back on.
Yeah. So
recently you've had some Chinese influencers over trying to get you were telling me in the car. How's that been?
Oh, it's been amazing, man. Just spent the last week up in Cairns, Port Douglas. Yeah. We had some pretty incredible experiences. Shooting some content with them, like taking choppers out to little sand islands and horse riding up at Cape Tribulation. It was very, very cool. Yeah, just beautiful scenery.
Does that content you make is because China's a different audience? Is how different are the videos, or is it?
Well, the cool thing is we were making videos for them to release on their channel.
Yeah, right. On Instagram, or because they use what do they use?
No, man. This is the super interesting thing about Chinese social, which I've recently started to delve into and learn about. Yeah, so they use WeChat, but WeChat is like a super app. So you can do a lot of stuff in WeChat. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe like 100 apps on Apple all kind of into one. So you can pay for stuff. It's a communication app. It's really next level.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can like stream videos on it, and
it's like everything.
Do apps run within it? Because I've got it, but I only use it to chat with some Chinese.
Well, it's different in China, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally like everything in one. So YouTube, Instagram,
it's a monopoly.
Everything.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
But it makes sense, right?
Yeah. So I'd love to just log in on one thing and everything's done. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so they're publishing that content on WeChat.
Yeah, through their channels, through their audience. So it was a really kind of close, collaborative project where we worked, like side by side with them, making sure that they were happy with all the content.
Right.
Yeah, it all went super well though.
So they oversaw your editing, or they just saw it at the end and were like, yeah, I'm cool with it.
Basically. Yeah.
Do they speak English?
We had a translator.
Right.
So one of them spoke English pretty well, one of them not as well, but we got through it. It was great, man.
That's bad.
Yeah.
What drone do you shoot with now? Because when I ran into you, were like you were rocking the first the Phantom.
Yeah.
Did you upgrade in the end?
Yeah, so I've had a 4 Pro. Yeah, I mean I've shot with pretty much every DJI. So shot with the Inspire, the 4 Pro. Like I haven't shot much with the Mavic, but I might get one just for travel reasons. The only issue that I have is I'm about to go and shoot on a boat in Croatia, and it's so hard to catch the Mavic and hand launch it as well. And actually, same with the.
Oh, do you mean land it? Like actually?
Like, yeah, I do a lot of stuff where you launch it from a moving boat and then catch it on the same moving boat, and without the skids, it's got like the little skids underneath, like the 3 Pro and the 4 Pro. Yeah, so that's the kind of only issue that I have with the Mavic. But I'll probably just get one just to have anyway, just because it's so small.
Yeah, it's so heavy. But there's a new Mavic now that's like a cross between the Spark and the Mavic.
Oh, the Air, yeah.
Yeah, that looks mad.
Yeah, it looks tiny. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, drone flying is the next level. It's like super accessible to everyone now. And it's so good for me because I'm kind of on the right side of the equation where there's just so much incredible tourism content out there, which I can then push out on my channel because it's a curation channel as well. Like we push out other creators and try and help them get views on their videos. Yeah,
brilliant. So you're constantly looking to work with new video creators? Like
totally, yeah. If I see anything good, I'm 100% going to approach them and try and put it out on.
Yeah, right. And if anyone's listening now and who wants to get into travel, or they do already, can they send you an email or something and show you their stuff? Man. What's your email? How should they contact you?
Yeah, just message through at BUCKETVISION on Instagram, on Facebook.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's cool. One day I might take you up and go do a trip or whatever you.
Podcast on tour?
No. I'll go film some stuff, bro. Like,
yeah.
Maybe. Just don't have the time at the moment. But that sounds epic, man. Getting to go. Like, I've barely travelled, really. I've been to Southeast Asia. I had a girlfriend in Cape Town, so I was back and forth for a year. And that's it, really, bro. I've never been to Europe. And as I was saying,
what's at the top of your list?
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because I was born there, haven't been back.
Yeah.
Massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah.
I need to go see where the film was made and, do that whole tour. So I think that's going to be first. And like Wanaka. Have you been to Wanaka?
Yeah. So being a big snowboarder, I used to go back and forth from Queenstown and Wanaka to North America and Canada. Yeah. I had back-to-back seasons for years after school.
What is Wanaka? Do you snow in Wanaka specifically? I thought it was
yeah. No, the snow there is amazing, dude.
Oh right, I just saw the lake and I'm like, I've got to go there.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's super beautiful. It's probably my favorite part of New Zealand. And also one thing I love about that area is the heli skiing because it's actually pretty affordable.
What do you mean? What's heli skiing? Like you get dropped by a helicopter?
Yeah, you take a helicopter up. So if anyone's looking to like progress their skiing or snowboarding to the next level and try something super fun, it's actually quite affordable there compared to the rest of the world. Yeah.
Right. Have you broken limbs doing snow stuff?
Nothing broken. Few little fractures, but nothing too serious. Yeah.
I'm going to Perisher. So like 3 years ago, or 4 years ago almost, I did like a tour of not a tour. Like I played at 12 venues down in Perisher and they give me accommodation, get paid for 10 gigs in 10 days or whatever it is, and it's been 3 years. They give me a ski pass and everything, but I didn't do it last time because I'm playing guitar and singing. I've never snowboarded or skied before. I'm not the type who's going to start on the beginner mount. Like I'm going at least intermediate.
Yeah.
So I'm a risk taker like that. If I'm going on the mountains, I'm going hard. And I'm like, if I break an arm and then I can't play the rest of the gigs. But this time I'm going, and I'm like, I'll do one day. Do you recommend going straight to snowboarding? Because that seems so much funner than skiing, let's be honest.
I think you would probably enjoy snowboarding better, yeah. It's just a bit more freedom. You don't have the poles, and you can just fly down it.
Yeah, it's the poles. It makes, I feel like I'm old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Yeah. I'll definitely, look.
I think straight to snowboarding, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, to be honest. All right, what else do I want to talk to you about? Travel creators. Oh yeah, so what's your end goal with BUCKETVISION? And
yeah, man, I mean, just keep growing it, keep trying to scale it up. We've got a few freelancers working for us at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me, like the thing that gives me the most drive is just being able to help out like suppliers that we make videos for.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's so epic when one little viral video can literally like change a small business's life. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like a couple of these videos we're making for like these restaurants or like adventure activities that went super viral. It's like, holy smokes, man, like their business increased so much.
Wow.
That business owner and all those employees like literally like changed their life a little bit, I was super grateful. So I'm just trying to do that, just keep doing that and keep trying to help out creators get their stuff out there.
But you're a fucking legend, eh? I'm just saying, on record.
Well, man,
legend,
it's funny. It started off as like pretty kind of narcissistic, ego-driven. Oh, I just want to like tick everything off my bucket list.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And I want to, be the guy who's traveling the world doing all this cool stuff. And then I don't know. At the end of the day, it just doesn't have a lot of kind of meaning to it, really.
Yeah,
like
there's only so many times you can go to Vanuatu and lie on a beach.
Totally, man. Yeah, and then the stuff that kind of feeds your soul the most is the stuff where you're actually helping other people and
game changer.
Yeah, and so that's what I just want to start focusing on more. Like I still love incorporating those two worlds, you know what I mean? Like I still see a lot of value in putting yourself in new environments and having new experiences for yourself just as far as personal growth goes. But I think you really do have to balance it out with trying to have a big impact on other people's lives. And
yeah, that's like I was just thinking before with that Cape Town video, because that was at the peak when videos weren't getting millions of hits as much as they are now. So
I got in at just the right time.
Yeah, right. And like, man, that probably had a massive like effect
impact on the
Cape
tourism.
Town.
Totally,
like,
man.
For Cape Town, bro, that's like one of the biggest like cities, man. That's crazy
huge.
that you can.
And if you can shift your perspective and put yourself, if you can put that mindset at the forefront of everything you're doing, it helps with your motivation, it helps with your drive so much more. If you're not just like, oh, I just want to make a cool drone video. It's like, this video has the potential to literally like change this thing, the city and everyone in it,
Yeah, Cape Town, man, they need it as well. You hear recently
the water crisis and all that. Yeah,
crazy, right? Oh, wait, I think they got sorted because they had some rain or something, and it didn't go fully dry.
Yeah, I think they're right for a while now.
Yeah, that's but also in Cape Town, back on Cape Town. See, I'm bad at segue changing. Like we're on such a roll then, like with Now I'm just jumping back. Anyway,
this is the second one, bro. Yeah.
I know.
You'll get heaps better at it.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. I appreciate it. Man, the craziest thing about Cape Town for me was you'll be driving like through like the nice areas, like all these mansions, big houses, and then like you just click. And it's slums.
Yeah,
for like
totally.
20 kilometers, and then click again, and it's just these mansions. There's such disparity within like 10 meters.
So much contrast. Yeah, it's crazy, incredible, man.
Yeah. What else did you want to talk about? Anything? Did you have anything you wanted to talk about? I've ticked off all my points, bro. Like this is what places you've been, what's lined up, future plans. You got that. Well, talk to me more about future plans. But so that's Bucket Vision. But what about like you? What's your like? Do you just want to keep doing that forever and like helping people out?
I'm also like trying to like build a bit of a personal brand as well. So I'm like I started off doing personal brand stuff with the daily vlogs, and I was like, you know what? I think I need to build something underneath me that has a bit of kind of weight to it to give myself some credibility.
It's got to be,
and that's when I shifted and kind of went all in on Bucket Vision. And now that I'm at that point where, okay, cool, this is a pretty good foundation, I feel as though I want to go back to the personal branding stuff a little more and try and start to work with some big brands on a personal level and just do cool shit around the world, you know what I mean? Right. And just be, like, I'm such a big fan of, all those YouTubers that are right at the forefront of all the latest technology, and they get to try out all the latest cool toys and gadgets and
Casey and stuff.
Yeah, totally, man. Casey, Peter McKinnon, like Ewan Olsen, like all those guys are a massive inspiration. And 1,000,000% I want to like delve into that world. So I think I'm gonna like really kind of go all in on that next and just have a crack at it and see what happens.
I can see that being mad because, as you said, you've got the experience and like the thing I like about Casey and shit, a lot of the time when I watch his videos, it's for education on like a product or his storytelling ability, what gear he uses. You've got all that shit now, you know what I mean?
I think all the building blocks are in place. It's just a matter of really going all in. Like when I did the daily vlogging, I did it for about like 150 days to try and promote the app. I just, didn't feel I was kind of at a point to really get the ball rolling, but I think now a couple of years later I'll have another crack at it and see what happens.
Man, that's you just need a cool like.
All it takes is one, right? One video, man.
I was gonna say one video, but you just need like. Have you seen Casey's like room, man, with all this gear, like?
Yeah, like the studio.
Get a studio set up, bro. Like
100%. We both need an epic studio in our lives. I think it'd be so good.
Join forces. Are you wanting to live in Sydney again, or?
I'm gonna move back here after this next trip. For a bit, and then I haven't quite decided. So, like I was saying, the California thing is kind of calling. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think it'd be great to have studios in both places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got too many interests going on, eh? It's hard to, focus on.
It's exciting though, hey, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Variety, spice of life. Just have a crack at everything. Throw everything at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Oh, anyway, I think we're done, bro. We're 40 minutes. That was
Is that good for you if it's time
Yeah,
wise?
bro.
I can keep talking about
Nah, man, you covered so many things, bro. I don't have a general rule of... First 10 are just going to be, winging it, see what works and stuff. People will love this, man. And by people, I probably mean mum. Whoever else listening, they'll definitely enjoy it. And I'm sure I'm going to tell heaps of people who are travel creators and stuff to get in touch with you because, you meet a lot doing video stuff over the years. So I got a few mates who are into it. One down in Adelaide, Cam, he does a lot of tourism videos for Adelaide.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And he sort of uses his personality in the videos a lot as well, which is a cool mix.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, Cam Doyle. Yeah,
his videos are epic, man. I've seen a few of his. Yeah, like quite comedy driven and really quick editing.
He used to work. Super quick. He used to work in radio as well. So
I think if he sticks with it, he'll do super well. Man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's really cool format, really watchable.
Yeah, right. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming on the podcast, bro. Thanks,
man.
We're done.
Thanks for having me.
Get in contact with Adam at Bucket Vision. So Facebook, just look up Bucket Vision. It'll come up. Send him a message if you want to work with him or, show him your stuff or whatever. Or just say hi, right?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Bro, we're done. You need to get some possum socks on you, man.
I'm so going to try some as well.
No, I can't believe you haven't because you're Kiwi.